Human-Computer Interaction, by Dr. G.S. Momathka, Professor, Department of IS, RVC.
Universal usability refers to the design of information and communications. Products and services that are usable to every citizen. Goals for universal usability: utility, learnable, memorable and safe. Types of users: novice users, intermittent users, expert users. Novice users: a person who is new in a certain task. Intermittent users: alternately functioning and not functioning, or alternately functioning properly or improperly. Expert users: experts users are defined as individuals who have rich interaction knowledge. Focuses on addressing the needs of users, how well it meets our user needs and better results for all users. Goals for our profession: potential research topics, reducing anxiety and fear of computer usage, graceful evolution, social media participation and information exploration, providing tools, techniques and knowledge for system implementers, use general or self-determined guideline documents written for specific audiences, use feedback from individual or groups of users, raising the computer consciousness of the general public. Some novice users are fearful due to experience with poor product design. Good design help novices through these fears by being clear, competent and non-threatening.
Guidelines in human-computer interaction. Guidelines have the following components. Those are instructional low-level focused advice. Shared language based on best practices. Critics. Proponents. Apple Watch uses Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to communicate with your paired iPhone. Navigating the interface has these components. Standardized task sequences ensure that embedded links are descriptive use. Unique and descriptive headings use checkboxes for binary choices. Develop pages that will print properly. Use thumbnail images to preview larger images. Accessibility guidelines provide a text equivalent for every non-text element for any time-based multimedia presentation. Synchronize equivalent alternatives. Information conveyed with color should also be conveyed without it. Title each frame to facilitate identification and navigation. Organizing the display has high-level goals. Consistency of data display. Efficient information assimilation by the user. Minimal memory load on the user. Compatibility of data display with data entry. Flexibility for user. Control of data display. Getting the user's attention. Intensity marking size. Choice of fonts. Inverse video. Blinking color. Audio. Facilitate data entry. Fewer input actions mean greater operator productivity, and usually less error. Design guidelines. Spatial consistency show high-level information. Minimize number of steps taps. Minimize data entry. Focus on goals and optimize tasks. Emerging standards from manufacturers. Design constraints. Smaller screen size. Touch data entry can cause errors. Battery power limitations. Data download speed or access. A principle is aspirational. Middle-level strategies are rules to analyze and compare design alternatives. Fundamental principles determine users' skill levels. Identify the tasks. Choose an interaction style. Choosing an interaction style has direct manipulation. Menu selection. Form fill-in. Command language. Natural language. Spectrum of directness. Command line. Form fill-in to reduce typing. Improved form fill-in. Pull-down menus. 2D menus to provide context. The 8 golden rules of interface design. Strive for consistency. Cater to universal usability. Offer informative feedback. Design dialogues to yield closure. Prevent errors. Permit easy reversal of actions. Keep users in control. Reduce short-term memory load. Prevent errors. Make error messages specific, positive in tone, and constructive. Correct actions. Gray out inappropriate actions. Selection rather than freestyle typing. Automatic completion. Complete sequences. Single abstract commands. Macros and subroutines. Ensuring human control while increasing automation. Making critical decisions. Air traffic controllers. Federal Aviation Administration tool-like interfaces. Theories in HCI. It is beyond the specifics of guidelines. Some theories are descriptive. Some theories are based on human capacity. Foley and Van Dam follows 4-level approach: conceptual level, semantic level, syntactic level, lexical level. Stages of action models. Norman's 7 stages of action: forming the goal, forming the intention, specifying the action, executing the action, perceiving the system state, interpreting the system state, evaluating the outcome. Direct manipulation and virtual environment. Google is a good example for good user interface. Good example for user interface would be Airbnb. Microsoft Word is a good example of direct manipulation systems. These are technologies that derive from the word processor. A video game user interface is a system of visual components that allows players to interact with the game story and break into the game space. 3D interfaces features for effective 3D simplify user movement. Prevent errors. Simplify object movement. Keep text readable. Guidelines for inclusion of enhanced 3D features. A 3D city model is digital model of urban areas that represent terrain surfaces, sites, buildings, vegetation, infrastructure and landscape elements in three-dimensional scale. 3D interfaces make complex design challenges into simple, delightful user experiences. In 3D interaction tasks and performance with computer systems in 3D space. It is an intuitive type of interaction because humans interact in 3 dimensions in the real world. The tasks that users perform have been classified as selection and manipulation of objects in virtual space, navigation, and system control. Tasks can be performed in virtual space through interaction techniques and by utilizing interaction devices. Teleoperation is the technical term for the operation of a machine, system or robot from a distance. Consisting of time delays, submarine operations interface, unanticipated interferences, incomplete feedback, PuTTY interface, VNC viewer, TeamView, etc.
Teleoperation. It's a technology that allows you to remotely control vehicles from the comfort of your own office using Wi-Fi and 4G or 5G connection. The operator sits in a remote station and views the surroundings of the vehicle through the lenses of the multiple cameras. The control interface the operator uses mimics the controls one would encounter in a real vehicle. For example, a steering wheel and pedals. The operator can switch between various vehicles at any time with a push of a button without leaving the workstation, which ultimately saves time and money.
Virtual reality versus augmented reality. Virtual reality creates an immersive virtual environment, while augmented reality augments a real-world scene. Virtual reality gaming is a simulated, 3D video game experience accessed via a gaming computer or all-in-one headset device. Virtual reality allows students to
What part of the solar system are we
destinations from
talking
across
about?
the world
Saturn.
without ever having to leave the classroom. Menu selection, form filling, and dialog boxes. Content single menu combination of multiple menus. Content organization. Fast movement through menus. Data entry with menus. Audio menus. Menus for small displays. Menus may range from single menus to linear sequences, to hierarchical and network menus as indicated below. Task-related organization. It has 3 types: acyclic, tree structure and cyclic. Single menu. These are the types in single menu. 1. Binary menus. Mnemonic letters. 2. Radio buttons. 3. Button choice. 4. Multiple item menus. 5. Multiple selection menus or check boxes. 6. Pull down or pop-up menu. 7. Scrolling and 2-dimensional menus. 8. Alpha sliders. Great example of single menu can be seen with a palette, whereas has set of available colors. Other example could be iconic menu. It shows users' functions, commands, attributes. Pop-up menu. It can be seen on web page when user clicks or taps on a particular menu item. Scrolling menus is another kind of menu interface with a lot of commands on it in a limited space. Combo boxes combine scrolling menu with a text entry field. Good example would be sliders and alpha sliders. This is how a fisheye menu looks like. This is an example for 2D menu. This is how embedded menu looks like. Combination of multiple menus. It has linear menu sequences and simultaneous menus. This is how a tree-structured menu looks like. Content organization. Time numeric ordering. Physical properties. Alphabetic sequence of terms. Grouping of related items. Most frequently used items first. Most important items first. Menu layout guidelines has these techniques: indentation, upper, lowercase characters, position markers, cascading or walking menus. Fast movement can be through keyboard shortcuts. Data entry with menus. Form fill-in is to ask data or information from users. Form fill-in design guidelines. Meaningful title, comprehensible instructions, logical grouping and sequencing of fields, visually appealing layout of the form, familiar field labels, consistent terminology and abbreviations, visible space and boundaries for data entry fields, convenient cursor movement, error correction for individual characters and entire fields, error prevention, error messages for unacceptable values, optional fields, clearly marked explanatory messages for fields, completion signal. Audio menu input is given in the form of verbal or keypad. Menus for small displays. It can be seen in calendars, smartphones, medical devices.